think I might have played that.
Hey.
Hey guys, and welcome to Ads Unscrewed. Thank you for joining me for my very, 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 very first live broadcast. I must admit the nerves are ever present, but I'm definitely going to do my best. Amy, stop blowjobbing. Well, stop giving the flipping mic a BJ.
Fondle those balls. Okay, no, I'm going to stop now.
You're going to stop. You're going to behave yourself.
Yeah, I have to.
So welcome everybody, and it's I'm hoping to get a lot better at this as time goes on. But we've got some pretty interesting topics for you. I'm Ads Unscrewed. Call me Ads. My friends call me Ads. You can call me Ads. And we've got my good, dear, bestest friend, aim to be me, Amy, with us today. Ames and I have worked close. Well, we've been good friends for I think over 10 years now. We've worked at numerous companies together in the graphic design field, in the creative sector.
And basically your work wife.
Yeah. Okay, basically the work bitch, our wife. We've got a pretty interesting topic today, but before I discuss that with everybody, I would just like, Ames, you want to just give us a bit of a rundown on your channel? You explained it to me a little bit earlier before we started broadcasting, and I must admit it did sound pretty interesting. So do you want to give us a little bit of an intro there?
It's pretty deep. So hi guys, I'm Amy. I'm Adam's best friend and work wife. I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So it's my birthday today. I'm 31 today.
Happy birthday. 1 year older, 1 year wiser, not wider, wiser.
No, I've got thinner, so it's fine. I hit my target, by the way. I'm very nervous, guys. Just give me a moment.
Take times me too. I've got 2 shirts on. One's got sweat on.
Yeah, I know. So I'm actually launching my own podcast, Aim to Be Me podcast, and that's basically a platform for me to raise my voice and bring awareness to certain topics that interest me and what I have personally gone through. So it's like a really niche podcast. It's not going to be for everyone, but we're going to be talking about the design industry like we are today. We're going to be talking about fitness, mental health, depression. What was the other one that I said?
Some really deep subjects.
And thyroid cancer.
Yes.
That's the most important one that I want to try to get out there. And I'm going to have a few doctors on and a few real people that have had thyroid cancer and are struggling with the after effects of cancer. I don't think there's enough.
I think cancer is not really spoken about too often. I think that's exactly what you were going to say. It's not to hear about.
Yeah, people, because I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer when I was 25 and I almost died, and it was quite a traumatic experience that forever changed me. And everyone really cared about when I was in the cancer stage of my life. And then when I came out of hospital, people kind of forgot that I was a cancer patient. I look normal. But inside, the after effects of cancer have caused me to be the way I am. And I just want to bring awareness to that. People always joke about me wearing 5 million layers, and it's because I can't heat up my body. Stuff like that. So I just wanted
You got that deep butt voice. You're like, yo, what up? You went into hospital and you were like, hi, everyone. And you came out like, yo, what up?
Yeah, no, my voice did change slightly. It's very husky. I can't scream. Yay. Yeah, I won't go there. But
good thing for the whole world.
Shut up. But yeah, that's what I want to just bring awareness to, and a few other topics that I won't really dive into now, but have really affected me this year. And yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing with my podcast.
Oh, that sounds exciting, guys. If you haven't already, go over to our channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button. Aim to Be Me podcast. It sounds very interesting. I'm definitely going to be doing that myself. Going to definitely take a look at that, Ames, if it helps. I am a qualified gynecologist, and as a medical professional, I would like to be on your podcast one day. And I don't think I will add anything valuable, but hopefully I will see you there. All right, guys. So today's topic is one that not only myself, but Amy has been both frustrated and passionate about over the past 10 or 12 years. It's the rise and fall of the graphic design industry within South Africa. So Amy and I have pretty much both been in design the same amount of time. It's probably peaking late 11, 12 years now. And
I'm reaching 10, yeah.
Reaching 10 years. So I'm a little bit aged, but so it's been about 11 or 12 years for me now, and that's hanging around the graphic design, marketing. I had a printing company for just shy of 5 years, and I started seeing things in our industry that have started concerning me. Now, let's open our discussion by speaking about exactly what graphic design is, and for people who don't understand. Literally everything around you, everything you see,
everything you see, everything you touch.
Exactly, it was designed. This bottle of juice, that label was designed by somebody. Damn it, the bottle was designed.
Look at my cup. By the way, guys, you can get this on Jerome Warfare's website. He sells really amazing merch.
Cool.
Hey, well done. Yeah, so see, it's a design. It took a designer to do that.
Everything is designed. Every billboard, every intro to every TV show you enjoy, every logo, every company that has a face, has a corporate identity, a brand. It's all comes down to a graphic designer working in conjunction with a marketing person. Sometimes not even. Now
what I'm seeing. Sorry, just to interrupt you. It used to be marketing and designer, but I see more of jobs online. They want a marketing person with graphic design degree, and those are two different things.
It absolutely is, but at the same time, I mean, they go hand in hand, and it's my biggest concern over the past couple of years. The change that I've seen in the industry is that graphic designers, multimedia designers, whether you're in motion graphics or web graphics, all of us have studied, and we've studied hard. Our studies didn't end at college 12, 13 years ago. It's been a continuous journey of learning and doing small courses. We might not train as long as, a lawyer or a doctor or people like that. But I'm getting frustrated now because I feel as if graphic designers are looked upon as skivvies. We are not
lucky.
We are not respected in the industry. We are not. We are looked upon as workhorses, and it's really, really concerning. We are earning less. We're getting less respect, and our numbers are outgrowing many industries. It is so saturated.
Very.
The likes of YouTube, and I don't really want to say the certain online academies. I don't want to use their names, but there's so many fly-by-nights at the moment. And it's super concerning. I don't know what you think, James.
I think the market is super saturated. I think everyone that has MS Paint on their computer thinks that they're a designer. And I had someone the other day just say, give me a template in MS Word. And I'm like, don't you ever tell a designer that. Like I don't think people understand what design is. One of my friends actually explained it to me, like, just quickly do a layout change. And I'm like, do you understand how long that's going to take? Because if you move one thing, it changes the whole layout. Everything moves, okay?
Yes.
But you know what? She explained it to me so perfectly. She was like, but it's like when you open MS Word and you have a block, your picture, and then your text, and you just move everything down, everything just flows into place. I think that's the misconception. It's just like you just move a few things and it automatically moves. That isn't the case at all. And I don't think people are educated enough on the design side of things. And like one of my passions, and I'm quite outspoken about how I feel about the education system in South Africa and just like the world actually. And I don't believe we should be studying maths and science and bloody blah. Yes, we must, but we should also be doing like basic 101 on marketing and basic 101 on design and basic 101 on your law and your rights. Like, because I've come out of school, I feel like I'm not adulting well enough because I don't have the basic skill.
Yeah. I agree with you.
Yeah.
You're 100% right there. I mean, there's other life skills that are more important than algebra, for example, or trigonometry was a good old favorite one. I mean, I was pretty, I was good. I was okay at maths. I was good at maths until they started bringing in fucking shapes and circles and like to the power of a square equals a dog's cat. You know, I don't understand any of that crap.
No, I don't either.
And not every student in the class is studying to be a nuclear physicist or build like devices of mass destruction, you know. So I've never actually applied any of that in real life. And I agree with you completely. There's certain life skills which I think life orientation is still a thing in school at the moment, but I don't think that life orientation focuses on the right stuff. I think there's too much emphasis on sort of sex and sex education and not enough education on the things that matter: saving money, investing, educating yourself. Yeah,
taxes. I mean,
taxes. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it's what I'm starting to see is you know, coming back to what we were speaking about, the industry is it's getting more and more saturated. You've got so many graphic artists entering the field now. And I've always wondered why that is exactly. Is it because a person is following their passion? Is it a passion? Or is it like our police force? Is it because it's a job? Because as far as I'm concerned, there's always two sides to design. It's like being a tattoo artist. You can know the technical side. I mean, you can draw a line. But if you are not an artist, if you are not a creative, if you don't think like that, what are you going to produce? And it's the same in graphic design, because you got your technical part with the software, and then you got your creative side, which is where the ideas flow from. Now, it makes me wonder, because there are just so many of us. What quality of designers are they putting out there into the market? Because I've seen some sorry adverts on Facebook lately, and you know exactly where I'm going with this. I've seen some scary stuff.
Me too. And I won't say who. Maybe I should. You know, I'm so outspoken. But I don't know if you follow the South African government page on Facebook.
I saw that, John. Yeah.
I actually, before this, went onto their page and looked at the posts that they were posting. This is absolutely shocking to the core. There is no brand identity. There is the colors are different all the time.
Yeah.
The typography is way off. Oh my gosh! Like I get so passionate about typography. Like I feel my blood boiling, because like I don't know if I can share my screen. Do you think I could?
You're more than welcome to.
Let me just, I want to show you this example that really, I want to just show you the examples that I picked up and show you what I mean. And maybe we can just like talk about it.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Let me
just while you're busy there.
Yeah.
White Noise Podcast. Hi, Eds. Hi, Ames. Hi, White Noise Podcast. Hey, CJ.
Hi.
Looking and sounding good, you too. Hey, Rye. How you doing, man?
Hey, Ryan. Miss you. Anyway, can you see my screen? Let me know.
Yet.
I don't know if it's going to work. Should have actually prepared for this better.
Oh, wait. I think I can help you here. There you go.
Oh, okay. Can you see my screen?
Show everybody your screen. Go for it.
Can you? Can you see it?
Yeah. It's visible.
Okay, wait, where's that other one? Oh my gosh. Oh, but this one really got to me.
Oh my God.
Can you see the plane? It's going down, and that's like you never put a plane going down on
negative.
On it. Exactly. I commented on that, and I was like, it's like this whole country, it's going downwards. They didn't like that comment.
No, of that I'm certain.
But look at this. Look at this one. Look at this.
Yeah, I mean, this just comes back to the tender process, and it comes back to people designing in Microsoft Word.
Yeah, you can see this is not done by a qualified designer, and if they are qualified, you should hang your head in shame. Look at this. It's cut off here. I don't know if you can see my screen. Just let me know.
I see that.
Look at this. Look at this. How do you put that on social media?
Especially when you're a government authority, it's quite.
There was another one. I can't. Oh, look at this one. This is the Open for Business one that really grates me.
Yeah, that's
the colors, the typography. Oh God, it's so bad. I can't even.
And just so that everybody understands as well, the point of this is not to be critical. It's not to. Well, I mean, it's not to shame anybody particularly. It's just to highlight the inadequacy in our governmental like procurement departments or whatever the hell you want to call them. It's just these are the type of designers out there.
Yeah.
And with what I'm going to say next is now going to make sense, because what I'm seeing a lot of, and it absolutely pisses me off, is a lot of adverts going out on Facebook. And one thing that I see particularly often
I know where you're going with this. I know where you're going
exactly, is 550 Rand for a logo, business card, this, that, or like 10 hours of work for 500 Rand. Now, two things are happening here, and this is where I don't know if these people don't understand this, but two things are happening. Number one, you are destroying the entire industry. You are taking an industry average from here, and you are bringing it to here. What do I mean by that?
What have they done here in this country? They've brought down the pass rate to 30%.
Well, yeah, they're bringing down the industry to a place where it doesn't belong. So what happens, Mr. Businessman? Hi, I need a logo design. Okay, how much you going to charge me? 1,500 Rand. Okay, that seems reasonable. Any businessman worth his pound of flesh will do his due diligence. He will go. He will research. Then he comes across Facebook where flipping Joe Soap Designs on the corner, who studied on YouTube and uses Microsoft Word professionally, is charging $500. So what happens? Mr. Businessman sits there and he goes, hang on a second. Well, they're 1,500 Rand, but this is 500 Rand. And honestly speaking, the difference couldn't be more clear. Mr. 500 Rand over here is going to go to every stock website available. He's going to download logo elements, and he's going to design your logo in 12 and a half minutes. Your logo is not proprietary. Your logo is not unique. And that goes for everything.
That's one of the topics that I actually spoke about to you prior to this. I said
yes,
the free pics and the free stock. Okay, fine. I have a Premier account. It helps me with infographics. It makes my work go much quicker. My productivity is much higher. But it's the people that don't have the essential skills that are going onto these websites and downloading an A off the free pics, and there's the logo done. That's what you're getting for 50 Rand. Where
exactly.
I studied for 3 years for graphic design, visual communications. Yeah. I had to do revisions after revisions after revisions after revisions just to get one logo. It could take up to 2 weeks to do a logo. But this is like the point though. Why we charge what we charge. It's not like, how do I say it? We're just coming up with random numbers, but we've studied this stuff. We've put effort in. We understand what we're doing. It's like a doctor, basically, in our industry.
Yes.
But people are questioning the amount of money that we're charging. And why? Because you go to your doctor. You don't question the 850 Rand consult. You just pay it because he's qualified.
Correct.
Why are we not getting the same treatment?
Yeah, exactly. And that it's, it comes down to the fact that when we study to do what we do, we are taught to do things in a certain way, and let's just unpackage for those non-creatives or non-designers out there what exactly I mean by that, what exactly is involved in the creation of something like this. So where you think you're getting this unique logo, you're actually not. You're getting a downloaded piece of crap that's probably exists 1,000 times out there. And what happens is when we are taught to design, and it all starts with a concept. It all starts with research. We take time to go and research your industry, see what your competitors are doing. We go and look at the way they present themselves and what they do. And then we don't try to fall in with them. We try to sort of create something totally different for you.
Yeah.
It all starts with a sketch pad. We go and we sketch, we come up with ideas. I mean, I must be honest, it's the same as the K53. They teach you to drive like this, but as time goes on, you kind of just drive like that. You don't.
Yeah.
You
Your camera's gone off?
Okay, it should be back now.
Okay.
I really hope. Yeah, sorry, as I was saying, why must there always be something, man? There we go. Sorry about that, guys. So yeah, coming back to that. So we research, we do our sketches, we find something that's sort of along the lines of what we think should be turned into a design. We then scan it in, we put it into our software, we trace it, we take the time to get it nice, get it looking good, come up with 4 or 5 different concepts that we can then present to our clients. And that process, let me tell you, doesn't cost 500 Rand. That process costs thousands of Rand. That process takes a week. That process can take more. It can take up to a month. It really, really can. And what these people are doing, the ones who are charging 500 Rand, and this is the dumb part, you as a person need to know what your cost to be alive is, what your cost of living is. Does it cost me 30 Rand a day to survive? Does it cost me 100? I can guarantee you now, this camera, I'm going to blow it up. I need to be careful. I'll get thrown off. What it comes down to is they're actually losing money.
Yeah.
You are working at a resounding loss. You are not even close to making money at $500. Even if you take 12 minutes to design a logo and all of that rubbish, you are using way, way, way too much time. And what happens is you can't fit other clients in, and you're making $500. And
well, Adam, if you charge 50 Rand for your logo and I'm not happy with it, I'm gonna ask you to do 500 changes. So does the 50 Rand match up to the 500 changes? No, you're gonna make a loss.
And customers love revisions. They love nothing more than to revise revisions. In fact, I'm not going to say too much, but then very recently, I did some work for a particular client, and I saw something that I've never actually seen in my life before.
Yeah.
I think it was 5 revisions to the same sentence. Never in my life have I had 5 changes to one sentence.
Why? Because it was grammar? What was it?
It wasn't even a grammar issue. It wasn't even a spelling issue. It's just they wanted it to say something differently, and they changed it 5 goddamn times. And I just don't understand it. Maybe once, maybe twice, shit, even 3 times, but 5 times. But that's the type of stuff you're going to experience out there, guys. That's the type of stuff you're going to do. Like Amy says, you're going to do 1,000 changes to one logo, to whatever, and you're not being paid for that, guys. $500, you are going to bed hungry, and you are killing an entire industry. You are lowering the average.
I see it on that South African graphic design group. There are just so many social media companies that offer graphic design. Fair enough, they're doing 2 in 1. I do that. I do social media marketing and like traditional marketing along with my graphic design. I started off as a graphic designer, but you're not going to make a huge amount of money just being a designer. You have to filter into other places. So that's why I do social media marketing. I have my own freelance thing on the side, which I don't really have time to do right now because my other work is just so busy. But what was the point of this? Remind me, my memory is going again.
Did you
See,
have a
that's why I
squirrel
want to
moment?
that's why I want to talk about thyroid cancer, because this is one of the
Did
after
you
effects.
get you some Ritalin?
Yeah. Can't remember what I was talking about. It happens.
Are
Sorry,
you
guys.
okay? All right. Well, if you do remember, please feel free. Candace says, "Hello, my lovelies." Hey, Candace.
Hello, my love.
Yes. So, yeah. Well, let me just jump back into it then, Ames. If you do remember, please jump in.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No. So yeah, we were discussing that it's lowering the industry average. Not only are these people not making money at that price point, but they are buggering up the industry average related pricing. And people see this, companies see this. So 10 years ago, I was able to charge 450 or even 500 Rand an hour for my services. And nobody bats an eyelid at that. I would say 500 Rand an hour to a client, and they would look at me and go, okay, cool. If I say 500 Rand an hour to a client now, they sort of clear the air out and they go, sorry? They want project-based pricing, which is also a load of crap, which is something I'm very, very tired of. I can't tell you how much a project is going to charge, because then I'm going to be shooting myself in the foot.
Do you think Corona has had any impact on the creative industry? Because things are very tough out there. People are losing their jobs. People don't have money for their startup businesses. So they don't have money. I'm not saying they don't, but like money is so tight that they do go to these 50 Rand people because they think they're going to save a buck.
Yes.
Do you think Corona has maybe affected it?
I think coronavirus has had an effect on every single industry there is. What you're going to see a lot of now is business registrations are going through the roof. That I can tell you already.
Yeah.
And you will find that a lot of creatives like ourselves have been forced to go solo. Actually, a primary example is good old me. I lost my contract due to the effects of COVID, and I started my own freelancing business, Holiday Visual. Go check us out; we're amazing, I think. And it's forced us to become entrepreneurs, and you're going to be seeing a lot of this across various industries. I think it has hit the creative industry hard because it's unfortunately one of those things within a company when it starts battling, especially established businesses. The first thing they do is they claw back on their marketing budgets. Marketing as a whole, because they are an established business, they have an established client base. They don't really need to be pushing for growth at that particular point. It's all about survival. So I think, yes, it has. It's had a huge effect on us.
I have a friend that works for one of these huge, the leading promotional gifts and clothing places, and they are suffering terribly because no one is buying marketing materials like promotional items. It's so bad.
That's another industry that'll take a knock, and I mean, we both know another huge industry that's been impacted quite adversely is that of the events. It's
just not
completely
opening.
destroyed it. It has, and eventing is also it's a big thing for creatives. It's a big thing for printing and branding companies. It's the effects of coronavirus has been, it's been devastating across the board. And so in the same breath, as much as I criticize these people that are undercutting and charging pathetically ridiculous prices, I do understand that it's about getting work in, it's about feeding the family, and I'll never criticize someone that's trying to do that. But that crap was happening years before coronavirus. And I always ask myself, how many of these people are actually qualified? And you actually raised a good point the other day. You said there's a lot of great designers out there who don't have diplomas or certifications, and you're absolutely right. I've changed my tune since then. I've changed my whole outlook on that.
Some of the best designers I know don't have any papers. Weirdly enough. It's the passion that drives it. It's the passion.
Absolutely, absolutely, and not so much the formal training. In fact, I think
Mm,
in the working world, I've learned more than I actually did at college. College was just about the principles and maybe the technical stuff. I've learned stuff on the
absolutely.
outside. So, I originally discussed with you, what was it? It wasn't an association. It was like almost a graphic design federation or association, a
Yes.
regulatory authority with you. I went to a trade show a few years. I don't know if it was the Sign Africa. It was one of them, and
Market? No.
Markex, that's it. There we go. Yeah.
Market. Yeah.
And I was approached by a gentleman from a very small stand, and he claimed to be with the Graphic Designers Association that they were trying to get established. I did look into it. I don't know whatever happened with it. There's nothing on Google. I was hoping to find some information on it today, but I couldn't.
Mm.
Do you think an authority like that would be beneficial to the industry in terms of, I mean, like for example, the Printing Federation offers things like training and procedures and regulation of wages, almost like a union to a degree. Do you think something like that would benefit our industry, where there could be some regulation, or even a graphic designer that doesn't have a qualification can do some form of trade test to sort of be deemed competent?
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
then the public and companies be encouraged to support people with this stamp of approval. Support
They should
Proudly South
actually
Africa.
go, the company should be going through them to get designers, actually, because then they have the paper. Even if you don't have paper, like your degree, you can at
Yeah.
least go there and get your training. Just say you're self-taught. I started off as being self-taught. My dad had Photoshop 2.1 or something on his computer. And he was
Yeah.
like, go play with it. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know. And I felt like it was like a MS Paint, but on steroids. Like
Yeah.
I was like using the paintbrush and I was like doing weird stuff. And then I'm like, I have to up my game. Like I have to do photo manipulations. That's how I started. So I didn't have papers before. I only,
Yeah.
like after high school, did I go to uni in India. I studied in
Yeah.
India. But yeah, like a lot of my other friends don't have papers, but if they had to go there, they could at least get like some sort of paper to say they are qualified. But then again,
Yeah, I
jobs,
know.
recruiting companies don't actually ask for your papers.
Yeah, you see, the thing about HR consultancies at the moment, and actually for as long as I can remember, and companies as a whole, the companies who mandate them to go and find candidates, is they're looking for somebody who has 8 to 10 years of experience. You must be able to do websites. You must be able to do this, that, up, down, left, right. But don't you worry, because we'll pay you 5,000 Rand a month. It's like there's so much of that shit going on at the moment, and it's really, really pissing me off. Is companies are taking the piss with this COVID thing, because they understand that people are desperate for jobs. They understand that people will accept less. In fact, it actually gets me thinking now: how many companies out there are actually thriving as a result of COVID, and your chemical companies, your stuff like that, but will still give their staff a pay cut? How many of them are just using it to make that much more money?
Yeah, I think we know one company, but no names will be mentioned. But we will keep that anonymous. But yeah, like you're absolutely right. Some people just don't have any ethics, unfortunately.
Yeah, makes me wonder. And you know what the funniest thing of all is? Never in history have creatives been more in demand. Why is that? Everything's online.
Yeah.
Everything's gone digital. Everything's gone online. Guys, the fancy background you see here, it's designed. It gives it a certain authenticity, a certain look. It's never have. It's your brand. Never ever have designers been more important. Never ever have developers been more important. We are in demand now, and yet we still looked upon as the flippant skivvy, the guy who hands out water at a match. I don't understand it. We might not study for as long as a doctor. We might not study for as long as a lawyer. But I ask you this: would you go and negotiate the price of your groceries with your spa?
No,
I don't.
because that's
So
what it is.
why would they do it with us? And that's what I've. And this is actually something that I've always told Amy. Amy has come to me for advice a few times regarding her pricing on certain things. And I always drill into her that you choose your price and you stick with your price. If you're not getting your price, it's not worth it. It is not worth it, because what do we actually sell? We sell our lives. We sell our time. Nothing is more precious than time. Every hour of every single day is your life. That's what you're selling. You're selling your life. So it should be worth it. It should be worth it.
So interesting. This is just a bit off topic. Your camera's gone off again, but last night I had and drugs.
Ryan, this is why people tend to crime or porn. Well, I mean, porn is always a good alternative, Ryan. I mean,
OnlyFans, eh? OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
Oh, do you want to hear something totally off topic?
Why not?
I went for a spray tan about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I was like there naked, like she was like spraying it. And she looks at my feet and she's like, "Oh, you have really nice feet." I'm like, that's a bit awkward. Random thing to say. Like, okay. She was like, "No, you should start selling your feet online. Pictures of your feet." God. There is a market for that. There is a market. Well. She said she did it. She used to get she used to sell 10 photos of her feet for 1,500 rand a pop.
Did she happen to have duct tape in a black van outside?
No, she was blonde.
Anyway. Oh, all right. Wow, that was like off topic completely.
Yeah. No, it was. No, I have like another theory on blondes, but anyway.
Oh, well, I mean, it's always welcomed. So we were talking about pricing. We were talking about the potential association.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I was off topic. This is again, I do this. Sorry, guys. So I had an appointment yesterday with a lady. Right, I'm just going through a bit of a rough time, and I just needed some offloading. She charges me 1,000 rand for 2 hours. I don't question that. So why do people question designers?
Exactly. That's exactly my point. It's like the perspective of a designer or creative has been changed so much over the past few years. We are literally looked at like insignificant parts of society, and yet everything you see, touch, hear, it comes from one of us.
I'll give you an example. Look at this. This is a book. Right? Yep. You need a photographer to do that, to take the photos.
Creative.
You need a designer to do the layout. You need a print company to print this. It all works together. This whole industry is connected together.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And it's this camera's killing me inside. That's exactly right. And people look at us like that, and yet we are so damn vital to any organization. And yet, when things get tough, we're the first ones to go out the door. It absolutely blows my mind. But I'm also, I mentioned it earlier, I'm also very tired of companies wanting so much experience, and yet they want you to almost work for free. I don't understand it. They're offering salaries like this, but they want somebody who's a master of all.
Yes, that's what I've also found. They want a web designer. And then again, like I'm in a situation where I have to update this website at work. I have had no training on it. I'm just going to be straight about it. I haven't had any training because I'm not a developer. And I think people think graphic designers are like these gods that can do everything from fashion design to, look, you can learn that, but visual communications is its own department on its own,
Yeah, you forgot to mention that the particular platform is literally the cuckest software on earth.
No, I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about another one for the bank project. Yeah, it's on a whole different level. You need a developer. It's a dev that needs to go and create
coding.
the pages. Like, I have basic HTML and CSS training because I studied at Vega for that. I did like a short course. But
I remember,
let me just tell you now, it is not my passion. And I think passion drives everything.
It absolutely does. It absolutely does. And just to give people their perspective, graphic designers, when you study graphic design, what tends to happen, unless you study when you study multimedia design, you touch a little bit on different fields. But what tends to happen with a graphic artist is you study your principles, your core foundations, you qualify, and then you sort of specialize somewhere. In the beginning, I specialized in design for print. Then I got involved in marketing. Then I got involved in digital marketing and social media and SEO and all of that sort of stuff. So things you sort of specialize in a certain area off the bat. So you got your web developers, you got your videographers, your motion graphics people. Your motion graphics people. Am I missing anything, Ames? I just hit an absolute blank. Photographers, etc. So there's different areas to design, but what companies are always looking for now is they want somebody who can literally do everything. And I don't think that's particularly fair at the price point that most of them offer.
Absolutely not.
And
we have to upskill ourselves every year.
Yes.
I study every single year. Okay, this year I haven't. No, wait, I did. I did a few short courses on LinkedIn Learning and stuff like that, and I got my Google certification. But you have to upskill yourself every single year to keep relevant. It's ever changing. It moves so quickly. Like, yes. I sometimes feel like I look at these jobs that are online and I'm like, geez, I don't feel qualified for this, because they want a web designer, they want a marketing person, they want a designer, they want a PA, they just want everything in one, but for one person's salary.
Yeah, and it's actually a sad reality. They want a master of all, but they don't actually really want to pay for it. And in the last couple of years being a designer, I've sort of sat back and I felt myself becoming like a part in a machine. Like, I never wanted that cubicle job, and that's what it is. It's about sitting down and producing artwork. That is like your sole purpose. In fact, the creativity has been removed from the corporate environment so much that you don't.
You can't keep up. So it's slap and dash. There's no passion. There's no thought process behind it. It's literally.
There's no.
You just get it out there. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no design freedom anymore. You got to stick within corporate guidelines. And I'm actually going to see if I can literally put this in another USB slot, because I can feel myself dying.
So remember we spoke about this, Adam, how a receptionist is so important for your company. Yes, it's the face, but your designer is equally as important.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. It's and people don't take that into consideration. They I don't want to say they frown upon people, but your receptionist, for example, and I think that's a very good example, Ames, she's the face, or he, I'm not going to be sexist, but
gender neutral.
Let's just be gender neutral and decent about it. They are the face of your business. They literally the first point of contact for your clients. And that is the wrong camera, but we'll figure this out. This has been an absolutely painful experience. I do apologize, guys, but these are the lessons that we learn from. There I am.
We're getting there. We'll get there.
There I am. Yes, I'm just trying to keep calm because I know it's a live stream, and anything that I break on live stream may be held against me. Typically, Amy knows me. Typically, computers would go through Windows about now, but this is a new me. I'm wearing white, got my cross on my chest, trying to be calm.
Apparently, I have to wear more violet and white because my soul is too black.
That is actually
so accurate,
pretty funny. Amy, Candice wants to know if you have pretty feet. I don't know if I should be concerned.
I don't think my feet are web camera worthy right now. I need a pedi. But thanks, Candy. Love you lots. Thanks for joining us, by the way.
Look forward to getting a few more subscribers and seeing some interesting comments out there.
I mean, we started off with don't suck the mic.
Yeah, but I mean, that's my style. It's just so inviting.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's another thing that I've picked up in the industry, and I do apologize, guys. But I mean, this is a free-flowing conversation, and I like the way it's going.
We didn't script this at all.
No, this is not scripted. This is just raw.
Yeah.
Another thing that I've
I have
noticed
so many jokes. Anyway,
is even though there's a lack of jobs out there at the moment in certain industries, there's actually a massive amount of opportunity in the creative sector. That's anywhere from marketing to design, to social media to stuff like that. There's an influx of job, but the problem here, is that the amount of candidates applying for the same position have quadrupled. I saw a job post the other day, and I actually almost fell off my damn chair. The job had been up for 4 hours on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
There were over 600 candidates.
Are you joking?
How do you compete? How do you compete with that? How do you stand out? You got to watch the post as it gets posted. You got to sit there on LinkedIn and wait. There it is. You got to be the first guy in there, first 10.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just hold back. Sorry, it really irritates me. But Adam, like, do you want to go there with your emails that you've got back? You know what I'm trying to get to. I don't know if you want to talk about that. When you apply for a job.
No. We shouldn't necessarily touch on that particular one, but I do know where you're going with it. It's something. It's a reality at the moment.
In South Africa, if anyone can read between the lines. I'm
sure people can read between the lines. Yeah, it's an unfortunate thing and all of that, and it is frustrating to hear get feedback like that. But I've come to terms with the fact that it's just the way it is, and I will just I'll proceed and survive any way I need to or any way I can. So the amount of candidates it's literally quadrupled. You've got to be within the first 10 CVs to even have a prayer, because by the time, let me tell you something from somebody who has hired people and put jobs out there. By the time I get that 11th CV, I'm already angry.
I'm tired
because my emails are just going bloop, 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 thousands of emails, and I can't deal with it. When you've got a high pressure position in a job and you're getting a million emails and you're missing important emails because people are sending you your CVs, you just start spamming it. That's honestly what you do.
I almost feel like you need a whole separate email address just for that job.
A lot of people do that. I wasn't too clever at that stage. Too much coffee, you see. So another thing that I've noticed, and this is something that absolutely pisses me off to the last enzyme on my bone, is when somebody, I know a guy or whatever, I'm looking for a graphic designer to complete a project for me, but it cannot cost an arm and a leg. Are there any reasonable designers out there? And then you fucking
60.
blink. You blink.
60.
120.
60.
Go take a leak. Come back. 180. Scratch my nose. Flip and scratch my side. Look again. 300. I mean, fuck. There's no point in even competing out there anymore.
It just goes back to how saturated the market is.
It just goes to show how damn saturated it is. It genuinely is. It's gotten to the point where I don't even really want to be a flipping part of it anymore. I like what I do. I really do.
Absolutely.
But it is becoming that much harder. I don't even know how advertising agencies get work, because their pricing is obviously sky high.
Oh my word! I actually looked up this company the other day, Adam, and it's basically exactly what I do at the company I work for.
Yeah.
They charge a monthly fee. Take a guess of exactly what I do.
Yeah.
45,000 rand a month.
Yeah,
That's what agencies are charging.
That's the type of retainers that are out there, guys. That's the type of retainers that are out there. So don't moan about the $400 an hour. Don't complain about the designer that charges you 1,200 rand for some decent work. At the end of the day, when it comes to graphic design, you pay for what you get. If you want crap substandard work, go pay the $250. Go do it. If you've got no respect for your business and no respect for your corporate look and feel, go pay that 300 rand or 500 rand. Go do it. Because I can tell you now, the person that charges you $500 and the person that charges you accordingly, put their work together. You will see what you're paying for.
But you also work harder if you're getting paid more.
Yeah, exactly. You put a little bit more behind it. And I just wish that people would apply common sense there. It's like you've got a fancy Mercedes Benz or a fancy BMW. Will you take it to some backyard mechanic?
No.
Not the people that I know who have vehicles like that.
And then they get people like that other guy with your car.
It doesn't even I can't fathom why people go and do stuff like that. You know, they've got no respect for their business. Then they don't understand why people think their companies look like they're from 1986.
Yeah, I mean, just like the South African government posts that I was showing earlier, they're using drop shadows. Let's just stay silent for that just a bit.
A moment of silence for drop shadows and effects from flipping 1963.
Yeah, like guys, white space is white space is the best form of design. Minimal.
You don't have to put every product you sell on your vehicle wrap. You really don't. White space is okay.
Oh, so, God. Actually, I just want to ask you, Adam. So, yes. What are some of your highlights in the design industry?
Highlights in the design industry? Jesus. Yeah, that I'm proud of. Oh, well, I mean, look, I spent 5 years in my business doing digital printing. Look, I don't have any massive career highlights. I mean, I think if I wanted to pat myself on the back or something, I designed something for AC/DC when I was there that was televised. It was some sort of overlay, similar to that of what's on my video right now. I think that was a very cool moment for me. And then some of the earlier vehicle wraps that I had done, honestly speaking, because when you're designing a vehicle wrap, you're always nervous about, and I learned this in printing, you're always nervous about the sizing. If it doesn't print to size, the cost of that vinyl is... I printed something one time and it was literally half the size it should have been. I never felt that nervous pain in my throat. It was like the cost of the vinyl that we had wasted. It brought tears to my eyes. So I think that was an achievement for me. And honestly speaking, growing a business from just myself to 17 people in 5 years, that's definitely a highlight of my career. We did some really nice projects. We did some projects where the customer came with a purchase order and they said, "Can you do it?" And I looked at the scope of the job and I was like, "There's absolutely no way you can do this, Adam." But to the customer, I was like, "Yeah, when? Just say when." And then
take it until you make it.
Literally had to figure shit out on site. Literally had to sit there and go, "How do I do this? How do I put it up without it falling off and killing somebody?" So yeah, there were some dodgy ones in the early days, but we did some really, really nice projects. You know me, so you will know that I did everything I could to sort of get away from graphic design for a while. I wasn't feeling it at one particular point in time, and I wanted to sort of move into the marketing side of things. But yeah, I mean, I don't really have anything I can pinpoint names. I do enjoy design. I don't necessarily think I'm the best on earth, but I'm definitely not your 500 rand shit. So yeah, and what about you? What are your highlights?
Off the bat, because I honestly didn't think about it, but just
welcome to my world.
I worked at Wizard Collective, which is now bought over by Amrod, and I designed their catalog. And they actually implemented one of my design strategies, because working as a designer there, I had to look for products in the catalog all the time to make mailers and all that stuff, and I could never find the products. I had to like page through. So I was like, why don't we color code it on the side of the tab? So blue would be clothing, red would be pens, or whatever. You know, like on the sides of your book. And to this day, they still use that. So I'm very proud of that. It's something so small, but it can change the way that you see a catalog, and it will save you time.
Yes.
So that's one of my highlights. And I don't know.
It's a tough question to answer on the spot, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I've created brands. I love starting brands fresh. So I created the Source 3 Down to Flavor brand. That I put my heart and soul into that one. Yeah, very clean design. DTF, not what you think. Yeah.
Nice little cheeky wordplay there.
Yeah. So my heart and soul went into Source 3, White Noise podcast, Over the Top. They do drones. So
That's one I like. That one I like. I love that one actually.
Yeah, so that for me in my highlights, in my career, those are probably my highlights. My lowlights.
Hang on, let me just get the list out.
There's my black book.
Yeah.
Not that black book.
Well played.
I think when I was working at ACDC with you, I had to do a print advert for, I think it was House and Home, or House Leisure, House Home. I can't remember. One of those magazines that are now done.
One of those magazines I read in Stanton, yeah.
Yeah, the one of those. But it was for an expo or something, and it was my first magazine adverts, and I was like so proud of myself. I was like, oh my god, I've made it. You know, as a designer, I've made it into print, and
my time is now.
Yeah, my time is now, and it came back, and I didn't margin it correctly. The text actually, let me show you.
It cuts off in the middle by the spine.
Yes.
Yeah, because you got to leave that 25mm gap. Yeah, I know. So, I've made that same mistake.
So, like, let's take this as an example. Wait. Like the writing, was like in the spine because I didn't set it up properly, and almost like Ricky wasn't happy about it, but he was like, don't do it again. And I learned my mistake, and I've never done it again. Also, I worked at a company called Bar Motion. They do mobile bars and stuff like that. And another print era. Oh, I actually almost got fired for this one, guys. I didn't, their design work was very complicated, a lot of overlays of greens to make the effect of their brand. And I saved the PDF because it had one change, and I didn't review the PDF. I just sent it off in the email without checking it, and that was a disaster. It printed white. It didn't even look like the same advert. So that's probably my one of my worst moments.
Which is something I think a lot of designers are guilty of. I mean, I've made some massive cock-ups over the years. I think one of the worst mistakes I've ever made. I worked for a very small marketing company when I was studying, and so the two companies that we worked for, we had two major accounts. They were earth-moving equipment companies. I'm definitely not going to name them. I've done everything I can to get this out of my mind. But two earth-moving companies, two direct opposition companies. And I put the one company's piece of equipment on the other company's print ad. And it went to print, and it was published. And you can imagine the types of strokes that were had. And she actually lost one of the accounts. And it was literally the worst error I've ever made. But on the bright side, guys, half full, This is why you pay for designers of our experience, of our age, is because we've already made all these bugger ups. Okay, we are far from junior. Not to say that we don't make errors. Everyone's human, but less likely to make
Mm.
costly errors because we've been down that road. The things that I've learned from in printing, my dad was my late father, may his soul rest in peace, was a 55-year veteran of the field, and the things he helped me avoid. How many
Mm.
designers out there have had hands-on experience running equipment within a printing company, understanding where our artwork goes from
I can
start
tell you,
to finish?
maybe 10% of the design industry has that experience.
And the amounts of mistakes that I've managed to avoid from knowing what I know, that's what you pay for, guys. That's why you don't pay me 500 Rand for a logo, is because I'll give you a 500 Rand logo. Shit, I'll give it to you in 5 minutes. The longest part is just finding the website to download it from. That's all.
That's it. Sourcing that a good enough vector quickly.
That is it, and that's why I will not compromise on my hourly rates. I will not. I would rather go prostitute on the streets again if I needed to. I will not. I will not compromise because I've got too much respect for myself, the industry, and the time and effort that I've put in to get to the level that I have to compromise on that sort of stuff. So yeah, I think we're running into an hour now, Ames. I think we're probably going to end it off there. I do have one final question for you though, and I will be fair and answer the same question. If you weren't a creative or a designer, or what would you be?
Oof. So I'm not good with maths or science, unfortunately. It's never been a strong suit of mine. Kind of fall short in that department. But I used to watch my dad doing all these amazing projects growing up, and I was like, oh, I'm going to be an engineer, and I'd love to build bridges and toll plazas, just like my dad. But again, this is just me personally. I don't feel like we have enough time on this earth to experience everything that we want to do. Like Edwin, and I'm sorry for bringing up this Twilight reference, God forbid. It's just, I watched the movie the first time and I fell asleep. I can't handle those movies, but my sister forced me again, and she was like, just watch it. So we watched it, and one of the things that I'll never forget in that movie was Edward Cullen had lived so many lives because he just doesn't die, and he got to do so many degrees, and he was basically so smart. And I wish we had that time on earth to experience everything and everyone, in this lifetime. So probably an engineer, a gynecologist. Yes, I know. I would, not for that reason, Adam.
There goes my answer.
I don't know. So many things. Yeah.
Ask me.
Oh, okay. Let me pick you. Okay, go.
Put me in, coach. There we go. Well, it's really easy. If I were not a graphic designer,
you'd be a stripper.
Well, I mean, I think my stripping days are gone. I'm a little bit of a chunky monkey, but I would be a hijacker. I'd be a fucking hijacker. I would specialize in cash and transit heists. So that's where I would put my focus.
We're going to get lost now, probably.
There was a time in my life where I could outrun bullets, but my knees, as I get older, my knees are getting a bit weak, and I don't think I could outrun the flying squad. So I think if I were not a graphic artist, it's a tough one, man. I would probably look at doing something like physiotherapy.
Really?
I find it very interesting, actually.
Mm.
I would probably do something like that, and I don't know. It's if your client talks too much, you can just pretend to strangle them. Well, you actually don't even pretend. Strangle the shit out of them. Shut them up. Just call it physiotherapy.
Choke me harder, Daddy.
Yeah. The problem is, I'll say, don't stop. Use your elbows. But yeah, no. But Ames, I think we're going to cut it off there. Thank you very, very, very much for being a part of this discussion. I hope to perhaps, have a second part of it where we can unpackage a different industry. We can perhaps look at at another guest. And for you guys out there, those who've taken the time to watch my first broadcast, thank you very, very much. I'm so grateful. Make sure you go and you subscribe to Amy's channel. That's Aim to Be Me podcast. Give her a search. And, of course, Ads Unscrewed on YouTube and Facebook. Please go and like and subscribe.
Put it in the show notes. Yeah.
But we'll put the links there for you. Please, guys, do go and subscribe. We've got some very interesting stuff coming up. I'm still trying to figure out where my channel is going to sort of fill in, but I will find my niche at some stage. But Amy's channel is going to be very great. Very, very, very compelling concepts and subjects that nobody talks about anymore. And please go give her a like.
It's the taboo topics.
It is the taboo topics, and I'm very proud of you for being willing enough to go and put yourself out there like that. So good luck to you, Ames. I will help you where I can. And yeah, just a special thank you to everybody, guys. We really, really, really hope you enjoyed it. And I think that'll be it for today. Thank you, Ames. Take care.
Bye, everyone.
That's that. Thank you, guys.
Bye.